Let's go. Welcome, Platinum Hunters, to PTR. Today, we're setting off on an expedition for that shiny digital trophy. I'll break down what you'll be up against, cover key trophies, share some tips to make the journey smoother, and at the end, I'll let you know if this platinum is worth braving the paintress or if it's better left behind. So, join me as we continue in this week's platinum trophy, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a 2025 role-playing video game developed by French studio Sandfall Interactive. Taking place in a dark fantasy Belle Epoque setting, the game follows the volunteers of Expedition 33 as they set out to destroy the Paintress, a being causing the yearly gommage, which erases those at or above an ever-decreasing age. The game has a total of 56 trophies. Alright, time for the basics when it comes to understanding the game's mechanics. During your journey, you will find pictos. These give you passive buffs during battles. You can only equip 3 at a time at first, and they cannot be shared between party members at first. If a pictos is equipped, after 4 battles, said pictos will have been learned, meaning that it can now be equipped by other party members. And this is where Lumina comes in. To be able to equip the recently learned pictos, you will need to collect or buy Lumina and then upgrade your character's Lumina amount. The higher you upgrade your character, the more pictos you can equip. So do not sleep on this. When you have discovered a pictos, equip it, learn it, as you might need it in the post game, and trust me, you probably will. When it comes to combat, you have the option to jump, dodge, or parry an enemy attack. Parrying is the name of the game here. Correctly parrying all enemy attacks leaves them wide open for you to counter. Learn it, understand it, master it. The platinum can be achieved in one playthrough, as the game does allow for post-game cleanup, and you might be asking the question if a guide is necessary. Yes and no. I would advise following a guide for the first level, as there is a missable object, an old key, and a missable mini-boss fight that will lock you out of completing the collectibles for the journals and music records. And here's the thing, you must collect all collectibles in one playthrough. They do not carry over in New Game Plus. So if you miss this, you will either have to restart your playthrough or collect everything again in New Game Plus. Personally, I found the guide slowed me down. Areas are not too open and are pretty linear, so it is not easy to get lost. What I ended up doing is when entering a new area, I would load the video guide and check the timestamps for any collectibles. This way I could enjoy my playthrough at my own pace. FYI, links to everything I mentioned can be found in the description of this video. Moving on to the collectibles, journals. There are 49 in total, one of them being right next to the final post-game boss, so don't be in a rush to get these. Also, Verso's journal does not show up on the list when you are checking the ones you have or don't. Another FYI, in the Celestial Village there will be a vendor who will tell you if you bring back journals to him, he will reward you. Once you have 48 of the 49, go to him and he will give you a ton of Lumina. Music records. There are 33 in total, and several are given to you by your party members. To achieve this, you need to reach a certain relationship level with said party members. This mechanic kicks in Act 2 and is done by spending time with each character and then checking up on everyone regularly at camp. And of course, there is a trophy for reaching relationship level 7 with all characters, and here a missable trophy. With Mael, she will eventually ask you a question where you are given the option to lie or tell the truth. You must select truth, or otherwise you will be locked out of reaching level 7 with her completely. With the other party members, it does not matter what dialogue options you choose when alone with them. The creatures you face along your expedition are called Nevrons, and occasionally you will come across white ones that will not attack. They will instead ask you to complete a quest for them. Upon completing said quest, they will reward you and ask if you wish to fight them. Do not fight them. Once you have completed all 9 quests, you will need to go to the fountain and talk to Noah. Here he will give you 100 lumina for sparing his brothers. However, the Nevron that you find at the floating cemetery has a pretty decent Pictos upon defeating him. Now, if you choose to fight and off more than one, the Nevron at the fountain will get mad at you and will start a battle that is pretty intense if you are underleveled. Also to note, it has been stated that if you kill various of these friendly Nevrons, you will void the trophy. This is not true. You will, however, have to defeat the Nevron at the fountain to then be able to unlock the trophy though.
Clair.
Once the main story is complete, you should be around level 60. You will need to reach level 99, and doing so will unlock 3 trophies along the way. The best place to farm this would be the post-game area Renar's Drafts, near the Golden Tree. I say best place to farm XP, but you will need to be in the 90s to stand a chance against the Nevrons there. Use the Endless Tower to gain XP for the meantime. There are also trophies for completing certain actions during combat with certain party members. This is pretty easy, and a guide for this can be found on PSN profiles. Speaking about party members, you will eventually be joined by Monaco, who learns new skills by defeating enemies. There is a trophy for unlocking all of his skills, and this is not too complicated, surprisingly. However, he must be in your active party and cannot be dead by the end of the fight, or otherwise he will not learn the skill. The minute he joins you, keep him in the active party and go along your expedition as normal. You should get them all naturally. Fully upgrading a weapon has its trophy, of course. Max level for weapon is 33, and there are 4 upgrade materials that are needed for this. Getting to level 32 is pretty easy, and a good place to farm the materials for this is in the Dark Shores. To fully upgrade to level 33, you will need a perfect chroma catalyst. These can be found by defeating post-game bosses and completing the Endless Tower. 11 tiers each with 3 levels. Also, in Renar's Drafts, there is a mini-boss called the Chromatic Creation near the Golden Tree area that you can farm as well. Remember though, that this is late post-game and you will need to be in the 90s for this. Speaking of late game, there are a few late game bosses that you will need to defeat. The first being Sprung, 1 because he's the weakest. If you're above level 65, you can take him down easily enough. And 2, he gives one of the best Pictos in the game, called Cheetah. This makes it so that each character can play twice and is super useful, especially with some of the fights you will face later. So make sure to get this as soon as possible. Now, the big daddy of post-game bosses is Simon, who can be found in Renar's Drafts as well. This dude does not play around. Even on easy, he will destroy your party, even at level 99. His first phase is pretty easy to parry, but it is his second phase where he will delete you. Literally. What makes this fight so BS is that 1, he has an undodgeable attack that will leave you with 1 HP. If you miss a parry or dodge, he will most likely one-hit you. And 3, if he does kill a party member, he deletes them from the fight so that you cannot resurrect them. You can try and do this legitly and go crazy in the process, or you can do a cheese build that will one-shot him in both phases. This is up to you, of course, and Mael will be the key to this. So make sure that she has over 250 lumina, as she needs to equip a lot of Pictos for this to work. Video showing the fight and then the Pictos needed will be in description as stated before. Once the canvas has been painted and the paintress defeated, you should be the proud owner of a very rare 9.5% platinum trophy. There's not much I can add that hasn't already been said about Expedition 33, but this is one platinum that deserves reflection. The story is generally intriguing and pulls you forward with a steady sense of mystery and discovery. It's paced well and always gives you a reason to keep pushing forward. The music is incredible. One moment you're sitting in quiet awe, and the next you're nodding along to an unexpected beat. It's so good, I've been listening to the soundtrack during my free time. It sticks with you long after the game ends. Then there's the world of Clair Obscur. Absolutely breathtaking, especially once you unlock the ability to fly. From above, the game transforms into something else entirely. Every zone has something that catches the eye. Hidden loot, new enemy types, or a sudden panic moment when you realize you stumbled into a post-game boss fight way underleveled. What makes the journey feel special is that you and the party are discovering this new continent together. That shared sense of exploration gives weight to your progress. Now, on to the platinum. The trophy list has everything you'd expect. Collectibles, upgrades, and exploration milestones. It's definitely time-consuming, especially once the post-game opens up and you're juggling level grinding, side bosses, and final gear. But it's all achievable, and for experienced hunters, nothing too surprising. That said, things can feel overwhelming at first. My advice: clear your head, set some goals, and knock them off one at a time. With some patience, the grind becomes manageable and maybe even rewarding. Combat is a highlight, especially boss encounters. Each one throws something new at you. Some require mastering parries, others drain your action points, but then there's Simon. Simon is a different beast. His fight is brutally unfair and easily the biggest roadblock on the road to the platinum. He doesn't just test your build, he tests your spirit. I genuinely believe he is a platinum killer. For those who beat him legit, massive respect, and I mean that. As for me, I took it personally. I found a way to one-shot him, and after all the pain he caused, it was deeply satisfying. Hunting down the pictos needed to pull it off felt like a secret side quest in itself. Honestly, I'm surprised this platinum isn't ultra rare, but I imagine many players, like me, refused to let Simon win and came back for that revenge. In the end, Expedition 33 delivers everything: an epic story, unforgettable music, a rich world, and a trophy list worth the time. This is a platinum you can be proud of, one that sticks with you, sparks discussion, and reminds you why we hunt trophies in the first place. Clair Obscur Expedition 33's Platinum Trophy is a 9 out of 10. If you've earned this platinum too, or if Simon broke your spirit like he almost did mine, drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how your expedition went. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe share that video as well, as it will help a lot. And remember, we continue. PTR out.